Hey, welcome back to another exciting episode of Coffee with Tracey. I am your host, Tracey Osborne. We are talking today about how to stay sane while juggling a house full of kids and a home business. So I know a lot of you deal with this on a daily basis. I know I do. So this is going to be an awesome episode. With me today is Jen Riday. And Jen is a women's happiness expert. She's host of the Vibrant Happy Women podcast and a mom of 6. Thought I was bad with 4. Jen helps women shift from frazzled to fantastic and from overwhelmed to overjoyed with her time management program, Time Mastery for Women, and through a monthly membership called Vibrant Happy Women Academy. Jen lives in the woods with her husband and kids just outside of Madison, Wisconsin, and in her spare time, you can find her relaxing in the sun, doing yoga and meditating. So welcome, Jen.
Thanks for having me, Tracey. This is fun.
How do you even find time to meditate or quiet with 6 kids? Holy cow.
Yeah, there's one critical thing I have to do, and that's get up before everyone else. So I've trained myself to be up by 5, and today I was up at 4:20, and I love those hours. They are the best hours of the day because I can think.
They are. Yeah, that is my favorite time, is like those couple hours before everybody else gets up, when it's just quiet. It's just me and my coffee and nothing else. So yeah, I totally hear you there. They're usually my most productive hours too.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So, okay, 6 kids and you have a home-based business. And I know, a lot of us as entrepreneurs, one of the reasons why we started our business was because we wanted to stay home with the kids. So how do you juggle it all? It is so hard to juggle kids and a business at the same time. How do you make it work?
I try to do my scheduling all together. I know what household, family, errand type things I need to do each day. I know what I want to accomplish for my business each day. And I like to have a piece of paper where I list the business on one side, kind of in order of the day, and the family life in order of the day, and just go back and forth. Like we just returned from 5th grade graduation, and then 5 minutes later, I'm here on the call. So that helps me a lot, just scheduling wise, and to keep track. Every week I plan the whole week, and I know what's happening each day, and that seems to work well.
So you're very, very structured, it sounds.
Very, very. I was born that way. And when I was 5 years old, I used to clean my room and take everything off the shelves and dump it on the bed and dust and then put it back. So I guess I was born with something a bit abnormal, but it works for me.
Yeah. Most of us would dump it on our bed and leave it there.
Right.
That's awesome. So, okay, how old are your kids?
16 down to 3.
Down to 3. Okay, so do you find, working around the kids' schedules is very beneficial to you? Or do you schedule your business around the kids?
That's a good question. Well, so they're just getting out for the summer, and I'm not sure how we're going to do it. I think I'll schedule kind of around them. My plan this summer is working, 5 to about 8. And then helping the kids get various places that they need to go in the morning. Mm-hmm. We don't have much scheduled in the afternoon, so I'll work again in the afternoons. And then I like to be done in the evenings when we go have some fun. So.
Right. That makes sense. That's kind of what I try to do as well. Doesn't always work out that way, but I try. And then I try during the summer on Fridays to only work maybe a half a day or in the morning.
Oh, that's great.
So that I can spend the rest because my kids go to their dads every weekend. So somewhere in there, I've got to get that kid time. But, for people with babies, women with babies, one of the things that I always say is work around the baby's schedule. So when they're sleeping, get a couple hours in. When they're taking a nap, get a couple hours in,
That's true. Yeah. I feel like with my youngest being 3 now, I can find that more predictable time. That's really hard for me. I think that's the reason why I didn't start my business until my youngest was 18 months when life was becoming more predictable.
Right.
Because, that's tricky. So kudos to all the moms of young infants who have a business, kudos to you.
Oh, I know. My kids were young when I started my business. They were, 4 and 2 when I started mine. My youngest ones, my older ones were like, 15 and I have to do their math here, 15 and 11.
Yeah.
So, but with the younger 2, I was lucky because not only did I have the older two kids to help out with the younger two, but I also had my mom living with me and I had my sister-in-law living with me. So I had babysitters at home, which really helped me with getting started. And I know that not many of us have that luxury. So, just trying to find that time to balance the work and the family. And, and speaking of balance, how important is it to you to have that work-life balance? And how do you even create one?
Well, one of the exercises I have some of my students do in my time management course is to list their top, top 4 priorities. And for me, in order, those are self-care and spirituality, then family, taking care of my body, that would need some work, and 4th, my career. So I try to make sure my time use aligns with my priorities. If I'm working more than 30 hours a week or so, I feel like my career is pushed too far up, and I never want that to be above family. So I guess I try to give myself certain hours when I'm working, generally speaking, and then certain hours are family, and I feel like they do balance out then that way. So yeah, that's really important to me though. Family's top, way above career.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm really bad about flip-flopping those two because I'm a workaholic by nature. So yeah. It's actually hard for me to pull myself away from the computer. I'm always finding busy work. I may not really have anything to do, but I'll find busy work to keep me busy. Mm-hmm. So I have to really, force myself to come away at a certain time at night. I no longer work on the weekends unless it's during a launch or something like that. Mm-hmm. I don't even check my emails. They may come to my phone, but I don't even open my mm-hmm. Gmail app. And I have to do that not only for my family, but just for me, because I need that downtime and that away time from the business too. Mm-hmm. So, one of the things that I find with creating that balance and keeping the structure going with my family and my business is having a really solid morning routine. And you talked about, how you get up early in the morning. So what does your morning routine look like? Typically.
It changes all the time. It really does. But almost always for the past 6 months or so, I get up and immediately get on my rebounder, which is a fancy mini trampoline. And that's just my form of coffee. I don't drink coffee. So I'll jump for a couple of minutes with my favorite Pandora station on, which right now is One Republic. And that just gets me going. Then I'll go brush my teeth and all those things.
Right.
I like to do probably 10 minutes of meditation. I can't push anything too long because I have too much going on. And some journaling, a little bit of affirmation work. I'll get my green juice, and then I'll try to work. I'm trying to work while the kids are still asleep because mm-hmm. I'm really focused in the morning. And I figure if I can get twice as much done from 5:30 to 7:30, I'm going to work then. So then once the kids are up, we all get breakfast together. Now that they're done with school, we'll see how this all flies, but I'll then actually do a real workout at that time. With my kids will kind of join me. I like to do high intensity interval training app on my phone. It's called 7. You can just do 7 minutes, but the studies coming out about this are really kind of phenomenal. You can do 7 to 12 minutes of workout and have more fat loss than the 30 to 40 minutes of walking or kind of steady jogging on the treadmill. Well, of course, it's a no-brainer. I want to choose the one that's effective and least time, the less of a time suck.
Right.
So that's kind of what I do in the morning, and then I work again. I never work a solid 6-hour chunk. I get 2 hours here, 2 hours there. And my office space is in a place where I actually can lock it with a key code. So when that door is closed, my kids are getting really well trained not to bug me. So they could send me a text if they want. But sometimes I'm recording a podcast or doing like what we're doing now. And I've got to just have that time that's focused and not distracted. You know what I mean? And
right.
My kids are old enough that somebody can watch the youngest. So it all works out really well.
That helps. That really helps. I have a note on my door or a sign on my door that says recording, do not disturb.
Oh, that's
and my kids know that if that note is up and they knock on the door, they better be carrying their head in their hands. Or else they'll walk away carrying their head in their hands, because I'm recording something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that works really well too. I do tend to work that big chunk. I try to work like 10 to 3, 10 to 4, 10 to 5, whatever it is. But because my morning routine, typically it's a little changed now because of summertime. So I actually have been sleeping in lately. But, I usually get up about 4:45, and I have to walk the dogs and all that. And then I get my grandkids in the morning as well. So, get them settled and hopefully back to sleep. And then I try to get in either some me time where I just curl up on the couch with a book and some coffee, or, if I'm feeling focused and really ready to go, then I'll just start working and get a couple hours in before the chaos ensues.
Yeah.
And then, deal with the kids and all that. I've got to get my mom up because she's basically a paraplegic. So I have to get her out of bed and everything. And, and I try to get to the gym every day. I try to train 6 to 7 days a week. And I love the weightlifting. So, I do the half-hour weightlifting and then a half-hour cardio. But I've done the high-intensity training as well. And, yeah, that stuff's fierce. It is really good.
You work a little bit, then you go work out, or is the workout before you work?
It just depends. Usually I will work out. I'll work a little bit. I'll get like a couple hours in, maybe write some blog posts, or, just check and see what's going on with all the emails and everything. And then I will go work out.
Okay.
I have to wait because I can't work out earlier. Or I can't go to the gym earlier because I've got the grandbaby. So I have to wait. The earliest I can work out is 9 because that's when my daughter gets done working.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just kind of hand off the kids, and then I just go and work out with my trainer by myself, whatever I do. So. That's really important to me. And I find that for me, if I don't do that, if my morning routine is off, it throws my whole day off for me. I had an injury last week. And so I had like a strained muscle right here. So I couldn't even move. I had to turn like this all the time. And so I haven't worked out in a week, and it's really shown. My focus this week has just been blown. And so
I interviewed someone on my podcast a while back, and she said that 1 hour of exercise each morning paid her back twofold all day. And I was really intrigued, but I think it's true. And the more I learn it, the better I get at sticking with my exercise. But still, there are days, like you said, if I forget it, all is not so well.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, having that strict morning routine, that's really beneficial for sure. So what are some other ways that we can stay sane while juggling, a house full of kids?
Well, so back to meditation. Meditation is getting more and more popular. And we talked about exercise, but I would put meditation probably right after exercise. I would actually put it second to exercise. But,
okay.
What I like to do when I first sit down to meditate is just check in with my thoughts, my emotions, and then the sensations in my body. And more often than not, I'll find out, I had a negative thought going on I wasn't even aware of. Like my teenager who's 16 might have pushed my buttons, and I'm still kind of carrying a hurt feelings, and I wasn't even aware. And it kind of just drags your mood down. So I take that time to just let go of any thoughts that don't serve me. And it's kind of like cleaning house, but you're cleaning out your psyche or your thoughts each day, so you can kind of jump in and be that positive person you want to be. So I find meditation is huge for focus as well, just like you said, for exercise.
Yeah, I don't meditate like I should, and I definitely need to get back into it. Same reason. It definitely helps to stay on track and to get you focused. And man, I get some great ideas when I'm in the middle of a meditation.
Yeah.
Or just anytime you just kind of get somewhere. I think, well, actually, most of my ideas come when I'm in the friggin' shower. My mind is quiet. I'm not really thinking of anything. I'm just doing my thing in the shower. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I have this brilliant idea. And you like have to run out of the shower dripping wet, to go scribble it down so you don't forget. But yeah, meditation really helps to just, like you said, it keeps you grounded, and then clears your mind so that all the cool, awesome stuff can come through.
And another thing, you said your ideas come in the shower. Sometimes when I feel stuck, I will go on a walk with my iPhone and put on Dragon Dictation, and I'll just talk and talk and talk and talk. And some of my best stuff comes from those walks. I think my writing isn't as conversational as my talking, which makes sense, but people want to read conversational style writing, so that's another big one for ideas.
I created an entire marketing plan during a walk one day. It just kind of all started coming to me. And so as I'm doing my walk, I was doing like a 3.5 miles or something like that. But as I'm walking my laps, I created this entire killer marketing plan. So yeah, it definitely works.
I agree.
Yeah. So, what about, I'm thinking of other time management tips, because that's so crucial when you're trying to juggle both family and work or some other.
Yeah, I can just talk about my systems. Once a week, I keep this essentially a Google Doc on my computer divided by, I should show it to you actually. This is crazy. Okay, look. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually trifold it.
Okay.
And so there's Thursday. You can turn them any way you want. There's Friday. So I like to scribble because there's something they say when you can check off, it's a good feeling. So I scribble them out. But I mean, it has my morning routines on it, what I want to accomplish for my business, who has what appointment, what I'm eating when. Right here it says Coffee Talk with Tracey. And I print that every week and then look at my Google Calendar and write in what I need to do. I feel like the act of writing cements it in my brain, so I kind of know in my brain what's happening all week, just stepping back and getting that big picture view. Mm-hmm. I call this the week at a glance. I also have like a year at a glance where I know what's happening each month. Like if you're a homeowner, you have to maintain your air conditioner. You might have to, who knows what you have to do seasonally, but those things can really sneak up on you and freak you out if you're not aware they're coming. Like teacher appreciation gifts get me every year. So I created this thing where, every month I'll look at the year at a glance and see what's happening this month and fit it in so I'm not shocked by these last minute things that suck a lot of time. And then for my kids, they're on pretty good routines. I really believe, according to what my kids say, a lot of kids these days really don't do chores. I don't know what's happening in our society if they're just so busy with extracurriculars, but I really want my kids to learn how to kind of work because I grew up on a farm. And so my kids essentially manage the kitchen except for cooking, which my husband does. Like my 7-year-old clears the table, my 10-year-old does the counters. They all have these little jobs, and the reward is they can't have their screen time until their chores are done. So that's how we do it. And we've tried fancy chore charts and everything else, but they tend to take more time from me and cause more stress. And the other big tip is each of our kids keeps their job, their chores, for like 2 or 3 months. Then everyone knows what they have. They get really, really good at it and fast. They can just knock it out. They know what they have. No one's staring at the chart saying, okay, who has to unload the dishwasher?
Right.
So that's been super helpful to teach my kids to be independent so that I do have this time. And then when we come together, it's not to clean or run the house, but we can actually go have some fun, like go swimming, which some of us are doing later today. And that's because my husband and kids are awesome at doing plenty of their share. Yeah. Nice.
That really helps a lot. I'm one of those who's really bad about making my kids do chores.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. And it's something that I keep, okay, I've really got to buckle down on this because they have to learn. I had to do chores, and now I learn, I know how to keep a clean house on it. And, it's stuff that they have to learn, but I'm just one of those where it's like, I'd rather just do it and not deal with the confrontation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're going to start getting some chores now. They want new phones, so they have to earn the money for the phones.
Well, okay.
So we'll be finding things around the house for them to do.
Yeah. Well, hot tip. Okay. This is a big one. We bought a router that allows us to control every single individual device's access to the internet. Mm-hmm. It wasn't cheap. It's an Asus. It was over $200, but if the said child hasn't done their chores, we can just sneakily go in there and disconnect them from the Wi-Fi. And we don't say anything about it. There's no confrontation. But they'll be like, can you log in my phone, please? Okay, have you done your chores? Yeah. Okay, here you go. It makes it really easy to connect it to the Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. I've thought about that. I've seen memes out on the internet, like they'll say, you want family time, turn off the wireless, turn off the Wi-Fi, and then all of a sudden everybody will kind of come out of their rooms going, well, why are my stuff not working?
Yeah.
Want to get everyone's attention.
Sunday we do that. Yeah, they hate it. They're so addicted. But because at school they're all given iPads and have hours of a day on it at school, and then they want to come home and have fun screen time. It's kind of ridiculous. So
right.
I love when we can make them mow the lawn and do things outside.
Yeah. So my kids are going to start mowing the lawn and stuff like that so that they can earn a few bucks because they want their new phones. And I'm like, well, if you want a new phone, that's great, but you're going to have to earn the money for it because I'm not paying for one.
Right.
So, yeah, awesome. So these are some really great tips. I like the week at a glance. I put everything on my calendar, on my Google Calendar. That kind of runs my life. That and my project management system for business. So all the really important stuff, anything that I have to actually remember to do, it has to go on my Google Calendar or I will never remember to do it.
Yes, I agree.
So I like the week at a glance. I think I might actually see if I can try, writing that kind of stuff down and then putting it onto my calendar and see how that works for me.
It's tricky. And I think everyone has their own system. We all have our own brains. I just don't believe anyone's system because I've bought other people's planners. They act like it's the end all. But for me, I'll always find something that doesn't work for me. So that's why Google Docs, you can just adapt it to what you need perfectly.
Yeah, you have to make it work for you. And I do the same thing. If it's, repetitive stuff, you just keep it on a, set of repeats. So on the first of the month, I know that I have to flea treat the dogs and I have to give them their heartworm and I have to put the Ridex in the toilet for the septic tank and, all that kind of stuff. I put when the bills are due so that I have an alarm come up and say, okay, don't forget to pay your credit cards today. So you don't get those late fees, so I have alarms coming up. Otherwise, I just am so busy. Otherwise, I won't remember how to, what to do, when and where, and all that. So and now I've hired an OBM, an online business manager, to help me run my business. So at least now I have her nagging me. Hey, don't forget, I need this. So
that's so nice.
That's been amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And that actually will allow me to have more free time too. So that's another tip actually is, with your business, anything that you can delegate and get off your plate, absolutely delegate and get it off your plate because that just frees you up for either money-making activities or more time with your family.
That's great advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Hiring her, and then I have my team of VAs and stuff. So now I can unplug and know that my business is still going to continue to run while I'm at the pool or I'm at the beach or, whatever.
Yeah, that's
I don't have to worry about being tied to my computer all the time. So that makes a huge, huge difference.
Yeah.
Awesome. These are some really great tips. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing them with us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode, and make sure you click all the links below so you can find Jen online and follow her. So thank you so much. Have a great one. We'll see you on the next episode.
Take care.